Okay, so I was muted the whole time, but just to quickly summarize everything that was being said. So we have Ed here. He is a Dr. Mario player, intermediate level player. His from Tampico, Mexico, PR player, top 5 in his region. Very good stuff. Good sportsmanship, positive mindset, and good adaptation are what he believes his strengths are, and he believes his main weakness is decision making, which he came today to work on. I was just talking to him a little bit about his overall goal, which is just gaining recognition, saying that he needs to develop a presence. But anyways, we're past that now. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the lesson. So, you said you're since decision making is your main weakness. Before we start that, I want to see if we can't get like a little starting ground to see like overall where you're at. So we're gonna start this by I'm gonna spar with you a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna do one stock, and then at the end of the stock, we both reset our stocks. And I'm going to try to take some notes on how you perform in each stock.
Okay.
Alright, just give me a moment, because... There we go. Alright, ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Let me just take a few quick notes. Okay. So... Alright, let's go for stock 2. I'm gonna do a little breakdown afterwards, after each of these stocks, but right now I just wanna see how you adapt before I even say anything.
Okay.
Okay? Let's go.
Oh.
This lag isn't exactly ideal, but we can make it work.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Alright, ready for the third one. Let's go. Oh!
Okay.
That right there was the decision making that held you
Yeah.
back. But we'll talk about that. Okay, so. Okay. Now one last one. After this, we should be ready to start in proper, but... Okay, let's make it happen.
Okay. Hmm. Ooh.
Ooh, okay. Good stuff. Okay, so let's go in detail about everything that just happened.
Okay.
Okay, so the first stock that we did, what did you feel about the way that I was playing?
Pretty bait and punish.
Bait and punish was not my intention there. What I was doing there was just walling you out. I was playing passively. I was playing mid-range.
Passively. I think, yeah.
I saw that you attempted to adapt. You started playing a lot more defensively, and trying to rush me down from a position that I could not react. But the main issue that I saw there was that you were doing so a little bit too far away. Even on considering this is Wi-Fi, it should be easier for you to be able to catch me out from those positions. Hold on, this music's a little bit too hype for this. Essentially, you were doing so from ranges that I could very easily react to what you were doing. Like, trying to go for a dash grab from here with your slower speed, it was easy for me to just take a step back and then just throw out a back air and then just get stage control and, like, you know, just keep on going from there. So that's what I was doing the entire thing. I was staying safe, and it was difficult for you to get an edge in. The second one was interesting. I felt like... What do you feel about the second stock?
You were rushing me down. I think, well, I don't really remember.
Rush down is definitely the way I was playing. I was running forward and pressing buttons. Hella buttons. Yeah. You got really overwhelmed in that one. I felt like you were trying to play mid-range. You were trying to play passively against me, which is good. That's what you're supposed to do. But the issue there was you weren't putting enough space between you and me, so you weren't able to be able to react to what I was doing. That might be because of Wi-Fi, but it's something you should definitely consider and something you need to respect. When someone's just running forward into you and pressing buttons, you need to be able to put a little bit more space between you and them.
Okay.
The third one, I was playing bait and punish.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed you did adapt well to it, but at first you were very easily falling for the baits. I just kept like going in, you would throw out an attack and I would immediately just run in to punish you.
Yeah.
And you, when you realized what I was doing, you just rushed me down and pressed buttons before I could even do anything. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. So that was really good. The fourth one, ironically enough, the fourth one I was going all out. The one you actually beat me, I was going all out.
Oh, that's good.
That is good, yes. I feel like I gave you too many chances to adapt, and I got caught off guard by your reckless approaches. So the thing that you're considering a weakness, your reckless decision making, actually worked out for you and actually worked out in your favor for this one. If I had played another stock, I probably would have just gone straight out passive and defensive play. So that I
tend to lose to defensive play.
Because at that point, you wouldn't be able to do anything to catch me off guard. I would just stay back, let you press buttons, and then punish you for doing so. But the first time, I was just trying to get as much as I can and trying to, like, poke holes in your defense, see exactly what you're doing. And it didn't exactly work out. So, now that I have a bit more of an idea of the way you play, let me see. You have a bit of a reckless mid-range offense. Essentially, you play, you adapt when you need to, but I feel like your, the playstyles the way that you try to adapt is a little unrefined. Like, you have a good base. I like where you're going with this. I like where your mind is, but I feel like your buttons aren't where your mind is. So you have a little bit of a contrast there. So if you polished
Okay.
up the way that you approach like the concepts, like the way that you adapt to the opponent, which is, I guess, where decision making comes in. This is where exactly what you came here to study. So, but unpolished in terms of inputs. Reckless decision making, not poor. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about decision making.
Okay.
So, in any situation that you're in, there's an element of risk, reward, and the chance that you'll succeed. It's this is obviously an oversimplification, but essentially, let's say any decision you want to make. Let's say, I guess let's play off the position you were in before at the end of the third stock, where I was on ledge, and I was at like 100%, and you were at 120%, and you ran up to me and you up smashed. So, what happens there? First off, your up smash sends behind you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I get up smashed by you, I go flying to the opposite edge. So, right there, I'm not sure, with me at 100%, you at 120%, I'm not sure if your up smash would have killed.
It depends. Sometimes it messes up the DI or...
Yeah, but my point is it's unreliable in that position.
Yes.
Okay, so the reward is what would have happened if you succeeded. If you succeeded, I might have died. Like, it's very possible that I might have died, but it was unlikely because I could have DI'd well. I could have reacted to the way you were coming in. First off, you were coming in from like over here. So already that's very reactable. You run up to me, and I don't know what you're going to do, but I know you can't kill me with a grab. So I'm just going to block. So I can react to your approach. I guess I'm going a little out of order. Let me keep going along this track. So I might have died, but I might not have died, and it's more likely that I wouldn't have died. The reward, the risk is what happens if you fail. So you run up to me and up smash, and I block. At that percentage, you were at 120%, and I just grabbed you and I backthrew you and you died. Like, that's a very free position for me, because you didn't cross me up, you didn't do anything, you mixed me up. Your up smash isn't safe on shield. Maybe if you charge it a lot, it will be. You'll have, like, time to get away. But in this position, it did not work out. So that's a very high risk. You lose the stock, you lose the game in that position. And sometimes you got like a high risk, high reward scenario, but right now what you had was a high risk and a medium reward. Now let's talk about chance of success. In that position, like I said, you were this far away and you ran up to me. You gave me time to react. And I'm not scared of anything that you can do from a dash if I shield. Because from there, I block it and I'm safe. You can't kill me if I'm holding shield. The only thing you could possibly do there is like run through me and pivot grab. And at that point, I can react to you going too far. I was ready for it. So the chance of success was low. So already you have a, let me see, high risk, mid reward, low chance of success. What does that tell you about that decision?
Well, what it tells me that I'm not good at making that decision.
Yeah, there's definitely better things you could do there. Risky decision, there are better options. By the way, let me post these notes in the chat for anyone who wants to follow along. You guys can see those notes right there. And if you guys notice anything in the lesson, by the way, please feel free to let me know as well.
So in my best option here is wait for a reaction.
Let me see. Decision making. Example. Run up to ledge. Mario. Ledge. Smash. Okay. So, that was a bit of a long-winded example, but these three factors are something that you need to consider for any decision you make. Especially like if you have all the pieces of the puzzle, you know what your opponent's gonna do. Like, there's different things that change different factors. So, for example, let's say you weren't at 120%, and you do the same thing. At that point, the risk is lowered because you're not going to die if I grab you. Maybe, like, I get stage control, I throw you off stage, and I go for an edge guard. Maybe that's kind of risky, but that's like mid-reward. That's like mid-risk compared to your mid-up smash. So right there, that's not the worst decision you could have made. Let's say I was at higher percent. At that point, it would have been high reward because it would have been guaranteed death. Or let's say you were closer, like you were at a distance that I could not react to. At that point, it becomes a higher chance of success because I can't, even if I shield, doesn't matter. You're gonna hit me because I can't react to the up smash. And those small factors changing the situation. Or, like, if I'm not Mario, if I'm another character that doesn't have a killing back throw, you know? Like, every situation is different. Everything has its own things. So you gotta, like, in the moment, be able to discern, alright. Or, actually, this isn't, like, something so much for in the moment, but this is, like, when reviewing or when thinking ahead. It's like, I can get him with the up smash. No, wait. Bad idea. There's something else that I could do instead. And through that thought process, you can decide what are better options for you to use when a similar situation comes up. So, in this situation, what else could we have done? Recreate the situation. So, you're at this distance. Mario just neutral get upped. He's at 100%, you're at 120%.
Maybe I should wait to see what kind of option does so I can react to it.
That's a very safe decision. So that would be low risk. That's almost no risk. At that point, the only thing you'd be risking is resetting to neutral. You're right now trapping him at the ledge. And he has to take initiative. So right here, if you play passively, then you could trap Mario at ledge very easily. Mario could be scared, Mario could try to cross you up, Mario could go back off stage. Like, his options are bad for the most part. He's very limited in what. Rather, it's not that his options are bad; it's that his options are limited. He doesn't have that many choices in what he can do, so it becomes a lot easier for you to trap him there. You can read what he's doing here. You can condition him to do things. This is where conditioning comes in play. So, let me see. EX. Same situation. Okay, so let's see. Condition. Okay, so it's not just about the position that you're in. It's not like chance of success is not a raw chance. It's not like you're taking a coin flip on whether or not the guy does things, because the guy's human. You can influence his decision based on what you do. So, for example, you've seen Mario players constantly throwing out up smashes like this, right? So if I'm doing this repeatedly, actually, let's switch positions. You go to ledge, I'll be over here. So, let's say I'm throwing out up smashes repeatedly, right? If I run towards you now, what do you think I'm gonna do?
Up smash.
Exactly. So, what if I use that to my advantage? I up smash repeatedly, and then I run through you and pivot grab. That right there is a good example. It's a very basic example of conditioning. I run through you, you shield, I pivot grab, I back throw you, and you die. It's not always going to be that clear cut, of course, and there's a lot more factors that go into it. So, when you're conditioning someone, you need to consider several factors. First off, when you condition someone, you're not making a read when you try to punish them. You're not guessing at what you're gonna do. Not everyone can be conditioned the same way. The idea is to get them to see something and to react to it in a certain way, and you don't know the way that they're going to react until you know what kind of player they are.
Okay.
So, that comes in with observation. First off, you see what they're doing. If I approach, what do? You shield.
Yeah.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you want to shield. I want you to shield when I approach. That makes it easy for me to grab you. So, what I do there is I condition you by encouraging you to shield. I cultivate your shield. So here, I'm going to be throwing out the up smashes, I'm going to be throwing out a lot of attacks, and you're going to want to shield. And then when it comes time to get the punish, I run in, get the pivot grab, back throw, you're dead. That's a very simple flowchart you can follow. Now, let's say it's a little different. Let's say instead of that, when I approach, you throw out like a lingering hitbox. Like that. Like you just intercepting me. You're trying to hit me, trying to smack me in the face. And I don't want you to do that because I want you to shield. At that point, instead of taking actions to cultivate you, I'll take actions to discourage what you're doing. So if you're throwing out a lot of lingering hitboxes, then I'm going to approach with a shield, and I'm going to punish you. And it's not going to be as hard of a punish as I can get if I, in the same position, go in with the pivot grab. But in general, it's forcing something different. Now, you're not going to want to throw out these lingering hitboxes because I'm just blocking you and punishing. So you might want to do something else instead. Maybe you want to back off, maybe you want to roll, maybe you want to do something else. But the point is, I discourage you from doing it. And it's something I didn't like, and now you're not doing it anymore. Alternatively, a way to discourage you from doing that, actually, here's a much better way. So let's say you're in the same position, you're by the ledge, and I want to encourage you to shield, I want to discourage you from throwing out the lingering hitboxes. I'm right now throwing up smashes. I could just up smash you. And if you try to throw out a lingering hitbox, you get up smashed. And eventually, you're going to have to respect this. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting hit by up smashes. And then, once it comes time, you got the pivot grab. That's the idea behind it.
Oh.
Now, there's something very important that you need to consider with this, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not every player can be conditioned. There's going to be people that are as dumb as a rock, and they're the kind of players that go playing rock paper scissors and they throw out rock every single time. So, let's say you want the grab, but instead, so you're throwing out the up smashes, right? Because you're throwing out the lingering hitboxes.
Mm-hmm.
So you want them to shield, but there's going to be some players that will not shield. There's going to be some players, I don't know if they don't know that the shield button exists, or they just really want to hit you with those nairs or those tornadoes or with back airs or with everything else. They're just constantly throwing out hitboxes, and at that point, honestly, you could just get away by doing this repeatedly. You don't have to do anything else. You can win the game doing this. It doesn't matter if you get weaker reward, because eventually you're going to win the game like this. And if you try to do something else, you get punished, right? If you try to think that they're going to be smart, you get punished. So just keep doing the same thing repeatedly until you win. And those people might call you a spammer for doing so, or, you know, whatever else. Maybe not a spammer. We're all in the tournament scene. I have a generally good hope of what people are like. I don't want to believe people are that bad, but, like, you know, if something keeps working, if the person keeps approaching with attacks, you could shield, you could change up your plan, you could keep throwing out attacks that intercept them. Especially with the kind of hitbox that Dr. Mario has, you have, like, those big hitting back airs, you have the up smashes. You got Mario hitboxes. Mario hitboxes are kind of nice. So you can do the exact same thing I'm doing right now. And if it works, keep doing it. There's no reason for you to change.
Okay, if it works, don't change it. Okay.
So let's see. Not every opponent can be conditioned if what you're doing works, don't change. And then there's going to be other opponents. Let's say you're gonna find the one Mario player that's always going to approach with a grab. Like, they just really want that grab, because Mario's a grappler, practically. So every single time he's gonna approach with the grab, right? And eventually he's gonna get it and you're gonna struggle. You're not gonna have fun, but you're gonna play anti-grab to stop him from getting the grab, right?
Well, yeah. That's the smartest choice.
That's what you gotta do. But I want you to stop me from grabbing it.
Okay. No.
That was lag, I don't blame you.
Eh.
Very nice. Ooh, okay.
Oh, okay.
If I keep doing the same thing, you gotta be able to beat it out.
Yeah, but my reaction time isn't the same with
Yeah, of course, it's
little
Wi-Fi.
lag.
I feel you. But even then, you gotta be able to see my moves in advance if I'm doing the same thing over and over. So we're gonna keep going a little bit, because I really want to make this point. This is like Bayonetta players who just spam side B until it works, and then they get like 60%.
Oh.
If you can't react to what I'm doing, then I'm too close. If I'm coming at you from across the stage, and you still get grabbed, then that's not a matter of you not being able to react. That's something else. Alright, working out better now.
Double shield.
And then the guy comes in the one time with the advancing guard. Alright, there you go, you're getting it.
Okay. Ah, I think it's possible. Oh, oh! Oh, it was kind of working.
A little bit. Mario's grab is broken. Nice, nice. Okay, so now that you're getting a little better at avoiding grab, so you're fighting this one guy. He's doing nothing but grabbing you, and you start playing anti-grab, and it starts working. You get a nice leg up. One of the best ways to play anti-grab, by the way, is to throw out lingering hitboxes. Things like Shulk Snare, Mario Nair. I can't grab that.
Okay, that wasn't simple.
Essentially, the other attacks, it requires you to time it, and it might be a little tricky to time, but your Nair will beat my grab every time. If I do nothing but grab, you should do nothing but Nair.
Okay, it's simple.
There you go. Nice. Alright, let's go just one more time.
Oh, well.
Nice.
Oh!
Mario's down is
I
broken.
didn't expect that.
Okay, so now that you're getting it, say you're fighting that one opponent. He's always grabbing you. And you're stopping him from grabbing you. And then at one point, out of all these grabs he's doing, he suddenly does shield grab. Like once. And then after that, he goes back to grabbing you. Did he really adapt?
I don't think so.
Sometimes some of these non-adaptive players will just throw in something that they think will work. Like the rock player in rock paper scissors playing nothing but rock will throw in a stray scissors just to catch the paper off guard.
Okay.
And an adaptive player might immediately jump to the conclusion that, hey, maybe this guy finally caught on. Maybe I should stop playing paper. At that point, you might think, okay, so if he's... No, you might think, I gotta change up my playstyle. But what you should do at that point is instead of aiming for a win, you should aim for a tie. You're not sure what he's going to do the next time. You don't know if he's an adaptive player or non-adaptive player. So play safe. Take a step back and watch what he does next. If he goes back to his tired old routine, then he's not adapting. He just sprinkled it in. If he actually tries to keep on doing what he's doing now, then he actually adapted. And at that point, you need to reconsider your game plan. But don't jump to conclusions immediately. Observe before you do anything else. It's always important not to make reads. Like, avoid making reads as much as possible until you gather enough information on your opponent. Reads aren't guesses. A lot of people say it like hard reads. Like, they just throw out a smash attack at a certain position to cast your opponent out. The issue is they go too ham with it. Like, you got the Mario player who's going to take a step back and forward smash to catch a roll, but the roll is only one option. The only reason you should do that is if you've conditioned them to roll. Not if, like, or unless they have a major roll habit and they have nothing but roll. There's going to be people that favor rolls, but in that case, if I'm here and I favor rolls, I see you in that position, I'm going to jump. Because I see you there. If I roll, I'm rolling straight into you. I don't want to do that. So you have to condition the opponent. If you're in that position, I'm not going to roll, I'm going to jump. If you're close to me, I'm going to roll. Because when you're close to me, look at all that distance that I covered. It's a lot easier to get past you. So what you can do in order to condition people to roll is play close at first so that I roll a lot. And then once I get comfortable with rolling, at that point, if you run in, I will roll towards you. So you can bait the roll by dashing in and then dashing back. It's the same thing I do occasionally with Shulk's up smash at ledge. Because I want them to get neutral get up, I dash away. Sorry about that. I dash away, and then I dash back in and I up smash.
Oh.
What if he mixes up once in a while and not once? Well, that's the thing. If you're playing rock, paper, scissors against someone, and he's playing rock, 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 you're playing paper, 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 paper. And then he throws out the one scissors, or he sprinkles in the scissors every so often. Like, let's say he plays 3 rocks and 2 scissors. At that point, even if you played paper every single time, you're still winning. You got 3 points to his 2. And if your paper is worth more than his scissors, like if you're constantly getting your highest damage stuff, and he's just getting like a stray get off me kind of thing, something to make you reconsider what you're doing, then you're winning. Like, let's say you're fighting Meta Knight. Meta Knight's constantly dash attacking you. And then at some point, because you start shielding the dash attacks, you're punishing Meta Knight for every time he dash attacks you, you're shielding. And then suddenly Meta Knight goes in with the grab. Once. He gets a little bit of damage, he gets a small combo, and then next time he goes straight back in for the dash attacks. You shouldn't be scared of the grabs. The grabs don't give you that much unless you DI badly. Or unless you're in a particular position where it can kill you. For the most part, you need to be worried about the dash attacks.
Okay.
So, at that point, even if you hold shield the entire match and take the occasional grab, Meta Knight's going to grab you 3 times and dash attack you 7 times. You're still in the lead if you punish him every time he dash attacks you.
Okay. Both options are good to break the opponent's zone, but one is more rewarding than the other.
Exactly. And you gotta keep that in mind. Okay, so we have covered almost the entire hour now. We have like 10 minutes left. Is there anything that's unclear that you want to maybe cover on?
Not really. You really did a pretty good job so far
All right,
explaining.
glad to hear. Okay, so let's see. I feel like we could probably take some time to focus on your more basic stuff. I know like this is Wi-Fi. It's a little harder to deal with someone who's constantly rushing you down and overwhelming you. But I feel like it's very important to keep in mind that if you are not, like I said before, if you're not able to react to the opponent, then you're too close. You need to have that awareness every time. So we're gonna practice that a little bit. It's gonna be a little distorted because of Wi-Fi. But I want you to try to stay, until you know what I'm doing, I want you to stay mid-range. Use your hard-hitting stray hits to your advantage, especially in this matchup. And then once you know what I'm doing, or once you get the initiative, once I overextend, you can then use that to your advantage. Like for example, if I'm constantly coming in with attacks, then you can shield, you can grab me, you can start a combo off a grab. Alright, so let's spar a little bit. A shadow zone. What do you mean, Link? Oops. Nice. Nice. All right, there you go. What zone? Okay, so you're talking about the unreactable zone. I've been in front instead of on the character. Yeah, exactly. You're talking about the unreactable zone, the zone in which you can't react to the opponent's options. Okay, so since you knew what you were dealing with, you were able to repel me really easily, so that was really good. So let's talk about covering distance now. I'm going to be playing passively now. I want to, before I even say anything, I want to see you try to break into my zone. And how you do it.
Okay.
Whoop.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, that was really bad. Okay. Oh damn, I had you there. I was gonna soften air you onto the platform and combo off of that.
Yeah, I see it, but you missed that.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, so for the most part, what I'm seeing here is that you are trying to lash out at me from a distance that I can react to. And in doing so, notice that almost every single time you try to throw out an attack, I just space out of your range and I throw out a back air. And I hit you with it.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm using my superior mobility to my advantage, keeping myself at a range here. And when you push forward, I push away. And when you push too far forward, I push into you and I cross you up. That way I'm always able to maintain the optimal distance for myself, as opposed to for you. So what you need to do in order to beat that is you need to play a slower game. You need to force me to play at your speed. So
Okay.
if every time you push forward I push back, then keep pushing me back. Keep this range between us so you can react to anything I do, and keep pushing me back. You keep moving forward, then I will keep moving back, and eventually I run out of space to move. At this point, I have to move into you. And that's where you can strike. That's where you are at your strongest. Because you have full stage control. You have the entire stage behind you. So if I try to cross you up and you don't overextend, then I have to get through your entire bubble. And at that point, you can now jump and back air me. You can now hit me with your attacks that are just as good as mine. You got a lot of nasty stuff under your sleeves. You need to take advantage of that. If you try too hard to get to me, though, and push too far forward, then note, I want you to keep in mind, there's an invisible bubble around you that shows the range of your attacks that you're threatening, that you're throwing out a hitbox before I can react. It's not just the hitboxes you could throw out here, but also the hitboxes you could throw out there. Like, I can back air from that distance before you can react, almost. And that's a range that you need to be aware of. That's a range that you're projecting all around. So when I'm at the ledge, and you're in front of me, not like that far, there's like a bubble around you that I have to respect. The closer you are, the less bubble I have to go through before I get out of your bubble. So if you get too close, it becomes very easy for me to cross you up. If you stay at range, then I'm right in the palm of your hand. Right here is perfect, because you can react to anything I do by backing up and throwing out an attack or covering my landing or anything. I can't really move backwards even if I react to what you do, so my options are limited. Because my options are limited, you can now very easily condition and punish me.
Okay.
So let's try this one more time. Alright. You don't want to give me wiggle room. I was able to do that only because you gave me a little bit of space to work with. If you were closer, I wouldn't have been able to do that. There you were at a good distance, but I had frame advantage, so I was able to take advantage of it. Good stuff. Cover my landing now. Force me back. Good. Even with my back to a corner, I'm still dangerous, so you have to respect that. Now I'm on the ledge. Don't get too close or I will be able to cross you up or take advantage again.
Ooh.
You have me right where you want me. Don't let me get away from this position. Back off. Good. Very good. That's exactly how you have to play against a passive opponent like that. You took a little bit more damage than you should have, but you played it well. Let's try that one more time.
Okay.
Let me turn on the light real quick. Alright, let's go. Very nice. Don't let me get out of this position. Don't overextend. Very nice. Very nice. At this point, you've conditioned me to respect your attacks, so I'm going to be shielding a lot more.
Okay. Oh, I messed it up. That was so sad. I was so concentrated.
Yeah, that was the no bueno. All right, let's do it one more time. This is gonna be the last one though, and then we have to stop the lesson.
It's okay.
All right, let's go. You saw that? How I tried to cross you up? And because you were able to... Because you pulled back the last moment I wasn't able to do so? Ah, that was supposed to be forward smash. You might have died.
Yeah. Oh!
Okay.
So I'm tickling mad.
Let's do one more, but this time I'm going to go all out.
Okay. Ah, let's see.
Good stuff, man.
Nice one.
That was a really tight final match. I like the back and forth adaptation. That was really good. Okay, so any final questions before we stop?
I don't think so. I think we are pretty much done.
Alrighty. Well, thanks a lot for the donation, and I really hope this lesson helps you out a lot. The VOD will be up for 2 weeks. I'm going to get you a notes page as well, and pretty soon I'm going to start uploading all the VODs that I have for the previous lessons, but I just need to find some time to really get around to that. And after I'm done doing those, I will upload this one as well.
It's okay.
Alrighty. Well, thanks a lot for everything, man. Good time.
See ya.